Hello, dear friends. You're watching your weekly astrology horoscope. This week, there will be interesting aspects, actually, quite a few of them, and also a new moon. As usual, the new moon is an opportunity for a new beginning, something new that we may start, a new phase, a new source of energy that we may have access to. So it's exciting and it's an important shift. It's happening on Tuesday, so the new moon is in Cancer on Tuesday. And if you want, you can join me for a live session about specifically focused for the new moon. We will talk about the energies, how to use it. We might set some intentions. So it will be a live interactive experience. The link is in the description below. So Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Another thing which I also want to announce is that my Bach Flowers and Astrology course is now available. You can get the recordings of this training, and also right now the price is 50% from the original, so half of the original price. Check the link below if you want to learn how to use Bach Flowers in your life, for yourself, for other people, and also how astrology may help you do that even better. And on Tuesday, we can also discuss this. If you have any questions, feel free to come and ask me or send me your questions in advance. If you cannot join us live, I will talk about it. I will answer your questions, and we can have a discussion on that. Bach Flowers are really one of the most amazing natural resources that you can easily and safely use on your own. You don't need to be a doctor. You don't need to be a therapist. You can basically choose your remedies, prepare them, mix them in the right way, and see what kind of a magic this is. So anyway, we will talk about it on Tuesday also. Now, let's look into Monday first. So, as usual, before a new moon, we have a dark phase of the moon. So, the new moon is on Tuesday, but on Monday, we are still in the last lunar cycle, at the very end of the last lunar cycle. So, Monday can be not necessarily that productive day. Especially if you want to initiate something new, if you want to begin something, you might notice that things are a little slower and it's a little bit more difficult. But that's just one side. The other side is that we have a very nice aspect on Monday between Mars and Saturn, which can actually help with getting some things done, with some kind of a productivity. So my recommendation for Monday is don't be completely passive. So don't just, stay without doing anything. But also don't rush into something very important and big. But perhaps try to finish the things that you have already started, something that needs to be adjusted, improved. So do some practical work, but probably not something very innovative, something that requires like a huge effort or like a completely new mindset or direction. So practical tasks, not extremely important, not extremely difficult, but things that can also help you kind of like to close this period, this phase. And the moon is in Gemini on Monday, which is very nice for communication and for some kind of planning also. On Tuesday, we have the new moon in Cancer, so we will talk about this in details on Tuesday in our live session. And what's also interesting is that there are two major aspects together with the new moon. The Sun squares Jupiter and Venus has a sextile with Jupiter. Interesting combination. Obviously, Jupiter will be very triggered, so it's about our goals, about our vision, about our direction, about some prosperity and abundance. But we need to find the balance between the Sun and Venus. So we shouldn't be too self-centered. We shouldn't do things only coming up from, what our ego wants. We should not be too selfish in this process, but instead we should focus more on the Venus energy, because Venus has the nice aspect with Jupiter, which means be diplomatic, think about other people, try to make compromises. That's how we can succeed more. So, interesting balance. On Wednesday, we have a nice aspect between Venus and Neptune, which is great for creative work, for relationships, for emotional things. Venus also has another nice aspect with the Sun, so even better when it comes to love, relationships, your desires. It's a great time to express them, to talk about them, to, most importantly, realize for yourself, what do you really want? It could be about anything, personal life, money, generally your desires. And there is one more creative aspect between Mercury and Jupiter. So it's a great time to think about some changes. They could be minor changes, they could be big changes, but try to look at things from a different perspective. Perhaps you may adjust your plans, your goals, or how you're planning to achieve your goals. So Wednesday is pretty active day, which can be great both for personal matters and also for planning and making changes. The moon is in Cancer, which makes the atmosphere also more emotional, more sensitive. It's a great time to spend it with your kids or your family. Then Thursday, the energy is different. On Thursday, we still have creative aspects. That's so interesting, by the way. Wednesday and Thursday, we have so many creative aspects, so we might expect some changes during those days. But on Thursday, we should focus also more on practical things and like work or business, because there is a nice aspect between Mars and the Sun. This can help you to feel more recharged, more energized, more motivated, more ambitious about something. And the other one is between Mercury and Pluto, which is also great for planning, for negotiations, communications, some kind of business meetings, or even some kind of financial planning as well. So the energy is like more concentrated. It's more appropriate for some work and business tasks. But the moon is still in Cancer, so we need to be mindful about how we treat other people. The attitude is very important. So if you are kind and compassionate and you think about how other people feel, that would also be in your own advantage. So that's Thursday. Friday. Friday is probably the most intense day of the week because we have a major challenging aspect between Mars and Pluto. So be careful for possible confrontations, arguments, manipulations, and things that are happening kind of like behind your back. It might be a time to really, put yourself together and put some kind of significant effort on something. So if you know that something is difficult and you need a lot of energy to do it, this transit may help you. But we also have a minor challenging aspect between the Sun and Saturn. So we may need to face some kind of limitations and restrictions, and we may need to be especially patient and consistent. So it's not easy to balance those energies, because from one side we will have this impulse to get things done, to do things our own way, maybe even, to kind of control and dominate the process. On the other side, we will need also to respect our own limitations, the limitations that the situation brings. But if we can find the balance, so not give up, not feel as a victim, not kind of like bring our power to other people, give it to other people, but just be like realistic about things and yet take your own responsibility, then it might be great. Also, on Friday, the moon is in Leo, which means that we can be very energized. The ego can also want to keep things in charge. And again, from one side, it can help us with more confidence. From another side, we might be also very sensitive about what other people are doing, how they are treating us, all of those things. On Saturday, Mercury is having also two major aspects. One is a trine with Saturn, which means that we can be very successful if we rely on our logic, if we are organized, practical, consistent, responsible. And the other aspect is a square between Mercury and Neptune. So things may not work very well if we are too passive or distracted, or we try to kind of like work with the chaos. No, this is not the time to like go with the flow or allow the chaos to happen around you or to control you. This will not help. And perhaps when it comes to actual results, it's better to rely on what has proved that works and to try to organize things. Be mindful that Neptune can mess things up a little bit. So you might forget about something. There could be complications in communication, different kinds of misunderstandings. So you need to plan ahead of those things and for those things. So try to, again, clarify everything in advance. Be as focused and as organized as you can. Don't leave things on, happy coincidences. Don't rely on that, specifically on Saturday. And the moon is still in Leo, so you might want to express yourself, to enjoy something. For parties, this is a great day. And on Sunday, we have a minor challenging aspect between Venus and Pluto. So emotionally, there could be some kind of tension. It might feel also exciting and we are passionate and really enthusiastic about something. But the chances for some kind of a drama are also higher. So be aware of that possibility. Try to avoid it if you want. And also Mercury is having a quincunx with Pluto. So the mind can also be very active. We may need to change things, and probably it will be kind of on the run. Like we have planned something, but now the situation is different, so we need to adapt. We need to change our plans accordingly. Go with this. Don't resist this change, because at the end, the results might be even better than you were expecting. So some kind of a change when it comes to planning is highly possible, and I would say even recommended. And the moon is in Virgo on Sunday, so you can take care of some practical things at home or finish some work tasks that you haven't completed. And overall, you can think about some important practical tasks. And that's what we can expect on not only on Sunday, but also actually during this upcoming week. It's intense week, so there are many aspects. If you can feel the dynamic, like we have quite a few exact major aspects which are important, especially those on Friday, Saturday, mostly. On Wednesday and Thursday, we have lots of creative aspects. So there could be changes, there could be some new opportunities and choices that we can make. Monday is great for finishing what you haven't finished yet. And Tuesday is wonderful for setting your intention for a new direction, for some new goals, new ideas. So the week is really dynamic, and the energy changes throughout the whole week. So I hope you will be able to join me on Tuesday and talk about the new moon and set intentions, and also talk about the Bach flowers and how you can use them in your life. And if you want to use this knowledge in your life right away, you can get the 2 levels of Bach flowers in astrology courses at half of the price. If you have any questions, you can always contact me. I would love to answer them. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you very soon.